biggest winner right now in the S&P 500 is Target. The stock is up over 12%, absolutely knocking it out of the ballpark. Dan Roberts, you've been all over this retail story. I mean, look, early on, the story was so much past few months about Amazon and then, Walmart, and nobody could sort of figure out, like, is Target going to stay in the mix? What's going on with Target? They got their Shipt acquisition. Are they going to be able to compete? Does this just say they are here to stay? Like Target is basically firing on all cylinders?
Well, I think absolutely, Jen. And actually, when Walmart earnings came out 2 days ago and we knew that Target earnings were coming, Walmart's online sales percentage was so eye-popping at 97%. And in Q1, Walmart online sales were up 70-something%. But now you get Target, which comes along and has had even much greater gains in terms of just the e-commerce aspect. Online sales up almost 200% for Target in Q2. And back in Q1 also, Target online sales were up 180%. I mean, those numbers are eye-popping. But, I also want to admit here, the story isn't just e-commerce. I mean, I've been tackling this over the last few days from an e-commerce perspective, but Target's same-store sales were also up 11% for stores that are open. And I think that says a lot. So Target's got the digital sales covered. It's got the physical footprint for people who are shopping in person. Now, I do think if you look at the trend in terms of the physical, the brick and mortar versus online, you can see where the puck is headed. And if you don't believe that, then you're asleep. I mean, I wrote about this yesterday, but there are stats now saying that e-commerce is up to 16% of all U.S. retail. Now, that might still be small to people. They could brush that off. But only a year ago, it was 11%. So look at where the trend is headed here. And Target is a great example. Also worth mentioning, I know Melody Hahm covers this stuff closely, but Target said that its curbside pickup service was up 700%. And Walmart had also mentioned the huge gains that it has seen with online grocery ordering and then pickup. Either you get it delivered or you pick it up at the store. Those services are doing very, very well. So people are ordering everything online now, including food. And the reason I draw that distinction and the reason I think it's interesting personally, I'm still not really at the point where I am an order my groceries online person. I know Miles did a lot of that during the pandemic, but I haven't tried that yet. Maybe that's where it's all headed. I still like to go to the grocery store, but people are ordering groceries online. And then one last thing I'll point out, both Walmart and Target in these earnings calls mentioned the stimulus checks, and both think that a lot of their customers are spending their stimulus checks over the last few months, which might lead some people to say, well, see, maybe it was a one-off and maybe these huge numbers are an anomaly. I don't think so, though. If you look at where the e-commerce trends are, I think it would be kind of nearsighted to just say, well, this is a pandemic-only bump in terms of the e-commerce numbers.
Aside from that, the stimulus play in there, Target also talked about the shift in dollars from travel because people aren't going and spending on trips. Where are they spending that money? And we're seeing that play out as well in the space of Lowe's, which also came out with numbers that you used to go on a big trip in the summer. Maybe now you're not. You're in your house, and people tend to be spending some of that money, making their house a little bit more comfortable. A Lowe's, Melody Hahm, has always been sort of the also ran to Home Depot. In sort of a way that Target just got lumped in. It's like, oh yeah, there's Walmart, Amazon, and Target. Target's like the nice one. They have like the good brands and stuff. But it was always third. What's going on with Lowe's? What did we learn from them this week?
Yeah, Lowe's also had a blowout quarter, reporting earnings, second quarter revenue surging 30%. To your point, as customers are squarely focused on DIY, you're sitting at home, you're staring at your blank walls, you're talking about how much you hate your decor, you want to redo the flooring. There has never been a better time to reinvest in your home. We did speak to an analyst over at Telsey Advisory Group earlier today who specifically said this is going to be a trend that lasts through 2021. I know going into this quarter, we anticipated that there could be a slowdown, that this could be an anomaly to the norm as more people are saying, okay, I'm done kind of fixing up my home. But rather than these huge, big renovation projects where you're kind of upending your entire kitchen and replacing all the facets of it, one by one, I think individuals are figuring out ways to kind of beautify their home sort of one room at a time, especially as we have seen home prices have not come down. So perhaps those people who have delisted their homes or were in the search for a home, they're saying, you know what, it looks like it's going to be a couple of years until I can actually move. So why not invest in my property? I think one resoundingly clear thing through all of this is that it's not a zero-sum game, right? For so long, we talked about Amazon versus everyone else. What company can be Amazon-proof? And we talked about the likes of Home Depot and Lowe's being in that category, that people still want to go to the store. But what I have to say, Jen, is looking at this quarter, Lowe's website sales alone soared about 135%, which shows that people are willing to buy plywood, people are willing to buy paint, and all of these kind of crafty things online, and there is room in the pie, right? It's not just an Amazon play, and people might have more confidence feeling as though, okay, even the reviews and the ratings on a site like Lowe's and Home Depot, maybe it's more credible. Maybe there's more professional expertise and guidance that we can get from the sites that specialize in this. And I think that's actually a huge optimistic kind of note for retailers that are trying to vie for this space.
For sure. And it definitely does show you really do need to make those investments, I think, in being online. As we're looking at Target, the top performer right now in consumer discretionary. The bottom performer is TJX, which a lot of people have gone over. You know, some of those companies that don't have a great web presence, the hunt, not so great there. And we can see that there are winners and losers in this space if you're not making those investments that some of these other companies have been able to do.